Civilization has played a crucial role in human progress, facilitating the development of societies, cultures, and economies that have allowed us to thrive as a species. Civilization has created the conditions for innovation and invention, allowing humans to develop new technologies, products, and services that have transformed our world. It also allowed humans to specialize in different areas of expertise and trade goods and services with one another, creating a more efficient and interconnected global economy. It's been crucial in the advancement of science, allowing us to better understand the natural world and develop new technologies and innovations. Finally, civilization has facilitated social and political progress, allowing us to establish democratic institutions, human rights, and the rule of law. These developments have helped to reduce inequality, promote justice, and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential.
Other ancient people made pottery by hand, but the Sumerians were the first to develop the turning wheel, a device which allowed them to mass produce it, according to Reed Goodman. The Sumerians figured out how to collect and channel the overflow of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and then use it to water and fertilize their farm fields. To make up for a shortage of stones and timber for building houses and temples, the Sumerians created molds for making bricks out of clay, according to Kramer. Primitive people counted using simple methods, such as putting notches on bones, but it was the Sumerians who developed a formal numbering system based on units of 60, according to Robert E. and Carroll. The Sumerians were some of the earliest people to use copper to make useful items, ranging from spearheads to chisels and razors, according to the Copper Development Association. Cuneiform is the next item in the list of inventions and discoveries of ancient Babylonia. Cuneiform, which dates back to 3400 BC, is the earliest type of writing that has ever been discovered. In 2300 BC, a Babylonian cartographer drew the first map of the world on a clay tablet. A little area of Babylonia during the Akkadian Empire is seen on the map. Horoscopic astrology was practiced by the Babylonians. The Babylonians tied their notions of divine intervention in their daily lives. The first sailboat with a basic framework and structure was created by the Babylonians, became one of the most famous civilizations to prosper and alter the course of history with their inventions because the sailboats. The Babylonians created enormous stone constructions known as ziggurats that resembled enormous towers. First developed aqueducts around 312 BC. These engineering marvels used gravity to transport water along stone, lead and concrete pipelines and into city centers. Emperor Augustus developed the first postal and courier service, a state-run courier and carriage service that took communication from one official to another across the Roman Empire. The early Christians widely used this Roman invention to make codices of the Bible, technology enabled, and the bound book later spread to other areas along with Christianity. Roman numerals originated in ancient Rome, but survived for some uses after the end of the Roman Empire. Between 900 and 800 BC, the symbol's earliest applications started to appear. While Romans cannot be credited with creating a modern system of daily paper newspapers, they did have something similar. They often inscribed news of current affairs on papyri or wax slabs. The Indian invention cotton has been a part of its national identity for many centuries. Arguably, cotton is the most commercialized commodity in the world. In the 1930s, 58 cubed weights were discovered at Shanhudaro, an archaeological site of the Indus Valley Civilization which can be located in modern-day Pakistan. The most famous one out of the two premature Indian inventions of the board game was played by the Indians. The world of math was revolutionized by ancient Indians in 500 CE. In the long list of surprising Indian inventions, the astronomer Aryabhata is always cited for first using the expression ka for zero in his numbering system. Another feature of the Indus Valley Civilization was water flush toilets. Both in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, almost every home had a flush toilet, connected to a sophisticated sewage system. The oldest pyramid was erected for King Zoser between 2667 to 2648 BC. In fact, it is the first monumental stone building designed and constructed that we know of. The shadoof is a long balancing pole with a weight on one end and a bucket on the other. The bucket is filled with water and easily raised and emptied onto higher ground. During the hot summers, many Egyptians shaved their heads to keep them clean and prevent pests such as lice, although priests remained bald as part of their purification rituals. Those that could afford it had wigs made in various styles and set with perfumed beeswax. Based on the cycles of sun and moon, the Egyptian calendar was divided into 12 months of 30 days each, along with 5 additional days at the end of the year. Before ancient Egyptian inventions such as tables and chairs, people simply sat on the floor or small stools and used large blocks or primitive benches as surfaces. And then, around the mid-3rd millennium BC, came an explosion in the art of furniture as intricately carved items began to be created in Egypt. Gunpowder was invented by Chinese alchemists during the Tang Dynasty. In medieval China, alchemists were people who tried to make an elixir of immortality as their supremegal. The movable, reusable, clay-type printing technique was invented by Bai Sheng 9701-051 in the Song Dynasty 9601-79 after numerous tests. Chinese people invented a kind of paper made of silk, which was much lighter than the strips. The paper was called bo. It was so expensive that it could only be used in the Supreme Court.